button. And Kyle, welcome to Let's Go Polling. How are you, buddy?
Going on? How are you guys?
Happy to be here, buddy. Happy to be here.
Another day in paradise.
Talk to us, Kyle. Logan, this one's yours. Take him.
All right.
You've been there.
I'll take this over. How's it going, Kyle?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Looks like you guys got a heck of an event set out in the next, let's see, we're only a few days away from it here.
Yeah, getting there. So
really walk us through what's going on. What are you doing to prepare? How's things going along?
We're getting there. Been trying to get the facility set up and stuff on that end of things. Track's in pretty decent shape, but we're going to keep it worked a little bit. Going to keep it sealed for this week until the time comes. Looks like there might be some weather mid this week, so we're going to keep it sealed up and see what happens. Go from there. Can't predict the weather or judge it. So
yeah, and same ways here in the Midwest. Yeah. I think Jason or Kinsey's got us a poster and a video for Dragway 42. That is.
There you go.
There we go. So kicking off Friday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, both nights are at 7. Gates open at 4 for spectators at both days. On Saturday at 5, there's a kids pedal pull for different age classes. Open pit area. That's one big thing that we have here at the racetrack, just in general, especially with drag racing and tractor pulling. Every ticket's a pit pass. There's no additional fee to go check out the pits. So I think it's a unique thing that a lot of venues in Ohio do have, but I've been to other places where they upcharge for that, and I think it gets younger kids can hop in.
Yeah.
Yep. Drivers' vehicles and hopefully get the niche. Some of them, or if nothing else,
walk away with a souvenir and a handshake and maybe an autograph.
Correct.
Hey, Kyle, this has been voted multi-time pull of the year, right, by OSTPA?
Yeah, the past 2 years, or 23 and 24, the pullers voted on our event in the spring as the pull of the year.
So fans, if you're thinking, do I need to go to Dragway 42, and you're a fan and you hear that it's been pull of the year the last 2 years, that's a really good sign that you need to go to this pull because they know what they're doing. Pullers, they vote on it with their heart, right, Logan? I mean, you vote on parking, you vote on the classes. Yep. Is the track good? Are the concessions good? It's the whole thing. It's the same thing that the pullers want as well. So it's pretty awesome, Kyle, to get that award.
Yeah, we've been gaining on it. We started polls here in 2018, and I was just counting today. I think this will be our 13th event, and not a weekend, but which is crazy to think that.
So is OSTPA putting on all your classes out there or just Saturday nights?
So there's 4 Ohio State classes on Friday night, as well as 4 from the Southeastern Ohio Polling Series. And then we're also having a 13,000-pound farm stock class that's non-sanctioned on Friday night. And then on Saturday, we're having 10 of OSTPA's classes. In total, though, the state organization just this year, last year they had 9 total classes to run for points. This year they added 2 classes, the light limited super stocks and the mini rods. Mm-hmm. I have the mini rods on Saturday night and I had the light limiteds on Friday night. So between the weekend, you can see every class that's on the Ohio State tour.
Yeah.
Which is pretty unique. It'll be the only event on the schedule this year that at one venue between the 2 days, you can see every class that Ohio State has to offer.
And it is split between 2 days, so you don't get stung with a show that takes hours and hours to do. So it's
Correct.
really spread out really nice. And then let's transition into something else. Are you guys running anything over on the strip?
Not this weekend.
Not this weekend on the track.
Well, I think there's a race on Thursday night and there is a race on Sunday, but there's no drag racing at the same time, at least during this event. We have done some stuff in the past. I'd like to try and incorporate something together someday in the future.
Someday.
Logistics, it's a lot.
Well, and you guys are doing a great job as it is. So how many vehicles are we looking at having out there? Are we going to be up into the hundreds with a hook count, or have you guys gotten any big competitors saying that we'll be there?
There's some commitments. I haven't, obviously there's a lot of people that you could reach out to that I don't have all the contacts to. I'd say probably between the two tracks and all the classes, even both days, well into the at least 80s, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. There's always the chance, early in the season, especially it's been fairly wet, I think across the Midwest, but in Ohio too, that has affected some farmers, especially that are still trying to get crops in. So stuff varies, especially in the early season. But
yeah, it's very unpredictable.
Yep. So just have to play it by ear, see what happens. I know there's a bunch of people looking forward to the event and getting there. And if they manage to get rained out someday during the week with planting operation, that they might venture out.
Kyle, you guys have been wet, right, this year?
Yes, it's been one of the roughest in recent years, I'll say. I think the last one.
At our Pullers Championship a couple weeks ago, Kyle, there were pullers that had not put an acre in the ground yet down in that southern
As
Illinois
last
area.
week, I know a couple people myself that actually helped with families' operations that help with the track here, track building, and the only crops that they had planted were probably 70-ish acres, and it probably had to be replanted. So if not, no one's planted anything at all. Some people got it. Some people have some stuff in, but it's being this late, it's crazy.
Again, if you're just joining us, Kyle Matcham with this promoter of the Dragway 42 Truck and Tractor Pull this Friday and Saturday at the Raceway there, June 6th and June 7th. He talked about a little bit of the class a little bit. Kyle, how many years have you and your family been putting on truck and tractor pulls there at the racetrack?
Since we started in 2018. And since 2020, we've been doing 2 a year. So I think this will be technically our 13th event and seventh year.
Okay. So you guys have a phenomenal facility out there, and fans prospecting, looking for an event to go. What can the fans expect for food, seating, entertainment, and just kind of the whole show in general?
Starts with free parking over in our spectator lot. I mentioned already free pit access for everyone. Kids pedal pull on Saturday is also free, no charge. We do have a beer tent for those 21 and older. We have a bunch of merchandise vendors, food vendors, popcorn, barbecue, burgers, anything you name it, they have that. So have all that. Pretty open area. There is hillside seating. There is limited bleacher seating, so we do recommend
bring a lawn chair.
If you want to, bring a lawn chair. We also do infield VIP seating, or basically tailgate spots on both the hilltop and on the infield side. There's some available on both days, still online. If you go to dragway42.com, you can purchase those in advance. And highly recommend doing that, because typically by by the time the gates open, those will all be sold out. So,
hey, Kyle, how deep are we into the OSTPA season so far?
this will be poll 2 and 3.
Okay.
2 on Friday and 3 on Saturday. They had one event last Saturday in Alliance with 3 of the classes. So
okay.
This will be basically the second event for the Ohio State.
Do you have multiple pulling events here, if I remember correctly, right? Can you talk about your fall event as well?
Yep. So the fall event was the longest standing event we have, which is September. It'll be coming up on September 13th this year. 7 classes, 2, but all 3 events, 2 in June on the 6th and 7th, and the 1 on the 13th of September, are all 2 tracks. So there's constantly stuff going on. There's not a lot of dead time, and we try to keep a pretty quick pace show.
All right, Kyle, so take your promoter hat off for a second. I know you love the sport of truck and tractor pulling as much as we do. What are some of your other favorite events to go to, maybe in Ohio or in the area? And then the second question is, what are some events you've never been to that you want to go to, Kyle, as a spectator?
Probably my first pull ever was Bowling Green, so I mean that one stands out. Also, Wellington, Ohio for Lorain County Fair.
Yep.
And one that I've been going to recently has been Stark County. I believe that's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, that's Schmucker's pull, right? Their county fair.
Pretty good event.
Okay. Yep.
Wish I could make going to polls I'd like to attend. Toma's always on the bucket list. Chapel Hill. I'd like to go to the pull out in Farley next weekend. I think that's pretty unique. We see, hats off to the Simons. There's a lot of similarities there with how they set that up to dirt track racing, or in our world over here with the sport of drag racing. Just this past weekend, we had 3 days of $20,000 to win 300 cars. So understand the payout structure of that, and I think it'll be a big success. Wish them the best, and hopefully that stuff takes off, because I think just a cool event.
Yeah, I think it's a different mindset for a puller. Because RJ's always said, like in racing, and you grew up in racing obviously as well with the track you guys run and own. The competitors kind of pay their own purse. That back gate he always talked about is what really steps it up to do that. So I think at first, RJ, it was that big wow, 50,000 to win, and then I think it kind of will. And I think now the momentum's picking back up again. People are really excited. They get it. We can say this is the biggest payout in the history of pulling, and I think you'll see other promoters try. I know Freeport. Kyle's trying something with a jackpot this year as well. This sort of what we did at the Pullers. We started the Pullers Championship 4 years ago. That $500 buy-in plus all the money goes back. So there's a lot of. It's fun to see different people trying different things like that, Kyle.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got a few minutes left to finish this up. Who'd you like to thank? Who's sponsoring? Any groups helping you out?
The presenting sponsor is Bad Gear. I'm already over at Bad Gear. So. Roush Diesel, Summit Racing Equipment. Yeah, go off my list here. Catch me off guard. I don't want to miss anyone, so let me. World Truck Towing, Bears Towing, Bowers Towing. Bowers Towing is very local to us. They help us with a lot of track maintenance type deal. They bring a lot of their vintage international tractors and help us do that. They've been long supporters of this event. That without their help wouldn't be possible. So I want to thank them. The Hat Shack, SSI Superchargers, Arabeck Trucking, Roush Diesel, Smith Brothers Mulch, Cyclone Diesel Performance, Shoney Trucking, 501 Performance, Schaefer Oil, General Maintenance Company. Those are some of the ones so far that really help with that. Ross Transportation. Just a lot of people involved to make, as everyone knows, there's a lot of people that are involved to make any event successful.
It takes a lot to put on an event.
Yep.
And even with your guys' scale, and you guys run it flawlessly out there. So
we appreciate that. We're trying to gain on it every year to try to make little improvements, stuff like that. So.
We definitely enjoyed our time. Well, thank you, Kyle, for coming on and spending some
I wish
time
you good
with
luck,
us.
Kyle, and I
Thank
hope the
you, guys.
rain gods work with you. And it is two tracks, right? Chris has a question.
Correct. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
just want to make sure I answered
2
that.
tracks.
Sorry about that.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Well,
Good
thank
deal.
you, Kyle.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Have a good evening.
Yep. Kyle Matcham, everybody, promoter of Dragway 42. That guy loves the sport of truck and tractor pulling. Logan loves it. Like, he's a super fan, and that's fun to have him because he cares, and his family to get engaged with it, you know, and for them to have a drag strip and pulling, that's good cross promotion as well, Logan. If you think about it, you know, because not every drag racing fan. How many times have you heard say, "How fast does that go down the drag strip?" and somebody sees your mini rod, right?
Yeah, how fast does that go, kind of deal. But no, Kyle's